I'm pleased to say we are joined by one of the hosts of Three Blokes 501 Problems, Stuart Woodmore. Thanks for joining us, Stuart. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, mate. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's a bit strange, obviously, being invited on a podcast after just recording your mate's memories at Q school, really, and putting them out there for people to see. So yeah, I'm delighted to be here. Cheers, mate.
That's great to have you on. And first of all, before we start, I was planning to join in with the culture, as you put it, and have a strawberry daiquiri with me, but I went to a couple of supermarkets on my way to the to getting into my hotel today, and unfortunately they were sold out. So the movement's definitely happened. Just tell us a little bit about where the whole strawberry daiquiri thing came from.
Well, I've got mine for
Ah,
you. I'll
good
have
man.
one calm the nerves down before the podcast. But yeah, no, basically, obviously, inside the venue at Q school, the drinks are really expensive. So there's an Asda right beside it. So I just went there, and I'm not a massive beer drinker, so I always drink cocktails and bits and bobs. And yeah, grabbed the strawberry daiquiris and ended up just saying in the vlog it's 10 o'clock in the morning, getting your levels right before you go and play to try and take the edge off. And yeah, that's it really. And then from there, obviously, Jack said about it on the stream, and so it went from there, and that's where it is with the strawberry daiquiris. So it's yeah, we carry on from there.
Happy days. Well, if any of our listeners don't recognise you yet, go and check out Three Blokes 501 Problems on YouTube. Last week you were vlogging your experiences at UKQ School in Milton Keynes. That the first stage there was yourself, Kieran Hartnell and Tom McInnes all playing, and then you stuck around for the final stage with the Hunt brothers, Daryl and Joe supporting them. Just talk to us about, I guess, where the inspiration came from to start the channel on YouTube and film yourselves as well.
Well, yeah, coming out of lockdown, obviously, when we're all stuck in lockdown, everybody's watching a lot of YouTube. I think that we had nothing else to do, all the kids at home and that. And I run a grassroots football club, men's football club on the Isle of Wight for five seasons after coming out of lockdown. And I recorded myself. I'm the manager and the secretary of the club, so I run the whole club. And Daryl was my skipper. Kieran was my goalkeeper. So yeah, I recorded football content originally. Just had me mother-in-law recording the game on the side of the pitch, and yeah, then I've cut it up into episodes just locally for the locals to watch, and yeah, that's where I started recording content. And then last year, obviously, I'm married to Joe and Daryl's sister, so they're both my brother-in-laws. And Joe went to Q school last year, didn't get a card, and then started on the challenge tour. So we didn't know what he was going to do and what standard he was going to get to, but he went on to do really well. He won a challenge tour event last year, and he got called up to the pro tour. And in the process of that, we went on a road trip. Me, Daryl, my mate Tom, and my dad all went to Hildesheim, Germany, like in a car from the Isle of Wight to Hildesheim. So I vlogged that journey. So that's where the darts started from there. And then after that, Joe, obviously, once he'd won a challenge tour, he was really high up in the rankings, and then you get called up to a pro tour. And so out of nowhere, I think Gezi Price done something to his hand last year and pulled out last minute for a pro tour. And Joe was next in line to get the call up. So he rang me and was like, Stuart, I've got a pro tour call up tomorrow. We got to go today. You want to come? So I grabbed the GoPro and I vlogged that as well. So the inspiration comes with the darts from Joe and his experience last year, really.
Good times, and I did stumble across your videos. I think it was on Tuesday night, and I've got to say I loved them. I think for anyone who hasn't watched them yet, they're quite it's raw, it's authentic, and it's a great watch. And I think you said in one of the videos it's showing people the real journey of trying to become a darts pro. But you are just a bunch of mates from a pub in the Isle of Wight having a go. We can all relate to that. So were you pleased with the reaction online because you've had a lot of support as the week's gone on?
It's overwhelming more than anything. It's like I didn't expect nothing. Like with my football content, it was just literally the local area that watched it, so all the other teams watched it. And I thought with the darts because now we play Monday League locally, we play ADC Vaults on the Isle of Wight once a week, well twice a week. Now they've opened up another one, and yeah, so I thought it'd be good for all the locals to see the Isle of Wight lads progress as they went on. So yeah, I just thought record that to see how it goes. But yeah, no, I didn't expect anything like this, mate. Like nothing like this. And yeah, we when we got back on Sunday night, we went. Oh, we had pairs on Monday, and I play with my nipper Reggie. He's 14, and walked into the boozer, and yeah, everybody loved it. Everyone was coming up to us, me and Daryl, because he was at the same venue as me. He was playing with his lad Mitchell, who's 14 as well. So we're paired up with our boys, which is great. And yeah, I just can't believe the support for the channel. And all I want to get across is obviously we also even see the glitz and glamour of darts, like on the telly and all of that. I want to show just normal, ordinary people from the pub trying to make it pro. What it entails, what we have to do, the sacrifices you have to make to give it a go. And so yeah, it's mental, mate.
No, some great content that we saw from you guys last week. Keep it up. And part of that growing audience, you mentioned him, Jack, the darts referee, one of my work colleagues as well. He plugged your videos on his Q School live streams during the week, and I did see him on Monday, and he said he's going to meet you guys tomorrow in Portsmouth for a strawberry daiquiri, and he wants you to sign a can for him as well. Are you going to grant his wish when you see him tomorrow?
Yeah, of course. Whatever Jack wants, Jack's going to get because he's put us on. Like them streams are wild. Like I was in and out of the venue. Obviously, once I got knocked out in the first stage, obviously Daryl got through. And our kids were at home because their school had a water pipe issue, so they got a week off school as well. Our boys, so they were in the chat, and then all the locals as well were in Jack's chat, and then it just seemed to spiral from there. And they were following us and cheering us on, and Jack was showing the boys games, and in between that, I was on the stream on my phone as well, checking in, seeing what was going on, and yeah, it's just mental. But we're going to go and meet him. I can't wait to meet him and say thank you for putting us boys on, like mental. Yeah, I'll take the pen with me for the old dap as well. Like.
Yeah, practice that signature. Well, going back to the videos, I loved seeing the camaraderie as well between you and your mates, the highs and the lows, celebrating the wins, picking each other up after the losses as well. How do you reflect now on your own experience playing in that first stage of Q School?
Yeah, I mean, me and Joe, in 2012 went and had a go at Q school when we were younger, like what's that, 14 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went and had a bash when Joe was really young, and I was 26, I think, and we failed then, and then we put the darts down, had families, went to football, and all that. So we had an idea of what it was like, but the other boys didn't have a clue. Kieran, Tom, and Daryl had never been through anything like that before. Obviously, local comps and stuff like that. Not even played any WDF events or nothing. Literally just local tournaments. So yeah, my experience was just go and have a go because like level wise, Joe's at the top for us, and then it goes Daryl and Tom, and then me and Kiz have got ground to make up. But we're going for the experience and the memories and see if we can progress through the year and pick up some wins and some scalps and yeah, just have a go. But yeah, my experience was great. I think nerves got to me a bit. I should have had a couple more DACs maybe, and I probably will this weekend at the Challenge Tour. Get me levels right and stuff like that. But yeah, I had a great time. Seeing like I'm really close to Daryl. He's my best mate, and to see him succeed because when you go for something like that in your local area as well, you got all the others going, "Oh, are they good enough? Like, can they do it?" And obviously, we know what Joe's quality is. He's been there, done that. He's won a challenge tour. We know he can mix it. But to have Daryl get through to the second stage and get some points on the board in that as well was just extraordinary, really. Like, so yeah, we had a great experience, great week. Obviously, long. It's mentally challenging. You're living out of a suitcase, which we've never done before. I've never been away from my family for a full week, my wife and my kids and that. But yeah, great experience. So.
Yeah, it's a long week, Q School, and even though you can't actually film inside the venue, I think you still managed to give us that insight into what it's like at Q School, and it did feel like we were there with you as we got towards the end of the week, following obviously Daryl and Joe's progress in that final stage, and you were often sat at Stu's bus stop outside the arena in Milton Keynes. Are you looking forward to getting back to your bus stop this weekend on the Challenge Tour?
Yeah, I mean, these 3 days that I've been home have gone so quick. I was out, obviously, got home Sunday night, went straight to the boozer, the Ambo, to meet the kids because they were playing a JDC Vault. And yeah, that was great. And then yesterday went so quick and we was not yesterday, Monday, was out again at darts for the pairs. Obviously, we ain't going to let our boys down. We're going to go and have a go at that. And me and Reg got through to the final as well. So it was a right old bonus. So he was buzzing. And then yesterday, the day went so quick, and we had an ADC Vault booked in yesterday. So me and Reg went to that as well, and Tommy McInnes won it as well, the Vault over there. So yeah, and now it's like I'm doing this podcast, and then in a minute I've got to pack the suitcase up and get back at it. But yeah, We're raring to get back to the old bus stop, get the DAX in. I'm going to get a few DAX in the morning on the first day because it's going to be a different dynamic challenge to the way you got two tournaments in the same day. So it's going to be pretty hectic and trying to concentrate on my darts and make sure I get the content for the channel and the lads' reactions and the ups and downs again. Like I just want to show pure how it is and how we feel because even though it's a single man sport darts, um, we're like a team. Like when Tommy was down, he threw some great averages, got some bad draws at Q School, and yeah, you can see that it affected him a little bit. And then you have to get the rest of the boys around him to go, come on, mate, you can do it again. Tomorrow's another day, you know, and that's what darts is about.
Definitely is. And at your bus stop, you're often following the scores on Dart Connect on your phone, like we all do, sat at home or wherever we are. And we saw your reactions as well. It was so relatable when we're following people that we follow as well. But after that first stage, we mentioned you stayed along to support Daryl and his brother Joe in the final stage, and it did mean that you missed your wife's birthday. When you got home, did you have the divorce papers waiting for you, or has she forgiven you now?
Nah, she's a diamond, Angie Poo's like, yeah, nah, she knows, like, she's cool as a cucumber. She held everything together at home while we had to go and do like. There's no way I was missing their memories for Daryl and Joe. You know, like wasn't coming home for the birthday. Like all the family got around her and give her a great birthday. When I got back, we celebrated as well. So no, she's fine. Old Angie Boo's.
Glad to hear it. And it turned out you did have a chance to play in the final day of the final stage of Q School on Sunday with that rule change for this year. They used that order of merit from the first stage to get the field back up to 128. How gutted were you when you found out that if you'd have known those rules, you could have got in and played?
Oh mate, yeah, I was a bit gutted, like when, and I only found out on Jack's stream because I don't know how it runs. Like I haven't got a clue. So when they said that matey in 200, I think it's Simon Stoddard, 204 in the first phase is playing today. I saw him in his trousers and his shoes, and I thought because Darryl beat him on the first day in Q school, and I saw him in his shoes and that, and then I got on Jack's stream in my bus stop, and they're like, "You're 120th, you could have got in," and I was like, "How?" Well, I don't know how. Like, and I think what it was is Nath Gervin, who was with us at the time, had pulled out like hour and a half before play had started. So there are four dropouts on the last day, and obviously they filled three gaps, and they didn't expect Nath to drop out so late. And then obviously they just grabbed anybody that was still there with their mates on the list to fill that gap because they had to make the 128 up. But yeah, it would have been absolute limbs for the stream, and if I'd have got like a Manby or a big name, it would have been funny. But yeah, I ain't at that level at the moment. I've got to build myself up and keep practicing, you know. But yeah, it was a slight like, oh, that would have been absolute fun, wouldn't it? Like, but
Yeah,
we'll go again.
that would have just topped it off. Well, looking back on the week at Q School, then what are the highlights or the moments that are going to stick with you and that you'll remember the most?
Well, the highlights for me playing, obviously, I had a shaky start and one with a 65 average, I think, in my first game, 5-4, which is proper pub standard, so to say. And then I upped it in the next game for a 75 and won 5-0. And then I got a bit nervous because I knew that if John Henderson won, I'd have John Henderson next. And I thought, oh, I have to get me levels back to that. And yeah, he absolutely duffed me up with a 90 average, and I had a 70, 76, I think. So that they were my highlights day one. But obviously, Daryl, like supporting him all the way. Like he didn't even know who Dubbridge was when he played Mark Dubbridge to get the actual point to qualify. Like after the game, I said, "You do know who he is?" And he was like, "I ain't got a clue," you know. Like, and that just shows like how much darts Daryl watched in the past. Obviously, I've loved darts since I was a kid. I was brought up in a working man's club. My old man was always there playing darts, and I learned to chalk there. I wasn't allowed to play on the board until I learned how to chalk. So I was always watched darts at home with my dad. So I know darts throughout the years. But some of these boys have only been playing for like Tommy's only picked up a dart 5 years ago, like, and he's 41. So yeah, some of the boys just didn't know. And so yeah, Daryl beating Dubbridge and getting through, and then the last leg against Fallon Sherrick as well in the second stage was pretty special for him, like because obviously she's a big name as well, and getting some points on the board because he thought he might get turned over in the last stage every single game, but he didn't. And yeah, it was just the whole thing was emotional for me when it come to an end. I was like, oh no, it's like the bubble had been burst, you know, like. But yeah, they're my memories, you know. Like,
Good times. And just lastly, before we let you go, obviously we know you've got the full crew heading back to Milton Keynes this weekend for the Challenge Tour. But for Three Blokes 501 Problems, what are we looking forward to for the rest of 2026? What can we expect from you guys in the channel going forward?
Well, I think you can expect exactly the same as what you got from Q School. There ain't going to be nothing different. It's a bunch of fellas that are all together, winning each other on through the good and the bad. Obviously, there's going to be a load of horrible food that we're going to eat on the journey, loads of togetherness. Um, and yeah, I just feel that something could happen. Like one of these boys, like it happened with Joe last year, and he can do it again, definitely. And I think Daryl and Tom can cause some major upsets. And all me and kids want to do is we want to see progression through the year, especially now got people watching our videos. It makes us want to get home and put time on the board. And I've had a lot of messages of people who have stayed away from darts and not picked their darts up for a while. I got a message from a lad the other day who hadn't been to a vault for 6 months, and he watched the videos and he's picked his darts up. He's gone out to a vault in his local area and playing darts, and that's great. But also on the channel, which no one's seen yet, is me and Daryl are about to take our two 14-year-old boys to JDCQ school the week after the challenge tour. So I want to show parents that are doing the same thing for their kids how hard and the journey is for the kids as well. So it's going to be a mix of us having it large on the challenge tour, trying our best, but then the other side trying to educate our kids in darts through the JDC system as well. So yeah, that's where we're going to go with it.
Well, we're looking forward to watching it, and we'll leave a link in the description for our listeners to go and check out your videos. But Stuart, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. We've enjoyed watching your videos from Q School. We can't wait to follow the channel throughout the year. Best of luck to you for the rest of 2026. And it leaves me to say one thing, and that is up the Isle of Wight, boys.
Up the Isle of Wight, boys. Keep watching, boys. It's going to be a journey. It's going to be fun, and yeah, we'll bring it all to you. Thanks for having me on as well, Alex. You're an absolute legend, and obviously Jack as well, our main man all the way through the year. We'll be with him as well on his streams, in and out of his streams. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it a lot.